Imagine waking up one morning and hearing that the moon, your trusty nighttime roommate for billions of years, has decided to stop orbiting and is now heading straight for Earth. Yep, you read that right, no more romantic moonlit walks, just a date with disaster. The countdown is on 150 days to go. As the moon casually makes its way to crash into us, you've got to wonder, did someone forget to pay the moon's rent? Let's dive into the video. A year until impact. The distance between Earth and the moon is 384,000 kilometers, about 240,000 miles. For perspective, that's roughly equivalent to the circumference of Earth, which is just over 40,000 kilometers, 25,000 miles. Now, imagine every planet in our solar system fitting within the space between Earth and the moon. With this vast expanse, it's hard to comprehend the moon suddenly becoming a threat. But somehow, against all odds, it's on a collision course with our planet. Initially, it would be hard to notice anything different. However, the moon's gravitational pull would begin to affect the Earth, starting with the oceans. Tides would rise higher than ever before, and coastal cities like New York, Miami, and London would begin to experience flooding like never before. The moon's increased pull on Earth would begin to take its toll, leading to global devastation. The role of the moon in our lives. Why is the position of the moon so crucial for life on Earth? It's not just about its beauty in the night sky. The moon plays an essential role in stabilizing Earth's climate and influencing ocean tides. Its gravitational pull has been a key factor in maintaining the rhythm of the planet's tides, seasons, and climate. Without the moon, Earth would experience drastically different conditions, and life as we know it would be altered forever. But as the moon begins its slow journey towards us, we might witness massive changes in the climate. With the moon's shift, certain regions would experience extreme temperatures, such as unusually long periods of cold in places like the Sahara Desert and excessive heat in colder regions like Canada. But more concerning are the drastic changes to ocean tides. As the moon draws closer, its gravitational influence would create tidal waves of massive proportions, causing catastrophic flooding across the globe. The moon's approach, a dangerous journey. Now, let's assume the moon is 250,000 kilometers, 155,000 miles away from Earth. The effects are already becoming devastating. Ocean tides rise by up to 5 meters, flooding cities worldwide and causing millions to evacuate. As the moon inches closer, this flooding only worsens. Entire cities are submerged, and animals living along the coasts, such as sea turtles and pelicans, are displaced by the rising waters. But that's just the start. The damage from the moon's gravitational pull isn't limited to oceanic changes. The Earth's crust begins to feel the strain as volcanic eruptions and earthquakes occur across the globe. The already unstable Pacific Ring of Fire, where 75% of the world's volcanoes are located, becomes a hotspot for natural disasters, affecting millions. Looking back, the origin of the moon. This scenario isn't as far-fetched as it may seem. To understand how such an event could happen, we need to take a look at the moon's origin. Around 4.5 billion years ago, a Mars-sized object known as Theia collided with the early Earth, sending debris into space. This debris eventually came together to form the moon. Evidence from the Apollo missions, where samples from the moon were brought back to Earth, shows that the moon and Earth are made from the same materials, confirming this cataclysmic event. The moon's approach, 100,000 kilometers and counting. Now, the moon is only 100,000 kilometers, 62,000 miles, away. The impact on Earth is unimaginable. With tidal waves reaching 30 meters, 100 feet, high, coastal cities are no longer habitable. Subways, trains, and highways are flooded, and infrastructure collapses under the sheer force of the moon's gravitational influence. As the situation grows more dire, the moon's pull continues to wreak havoc, and global systems economies, agriculture, transportation start to crumble. The role of gravity in tides. The moon's gravitational pull has always been the force behind the tides we see on Earth. This gravitational attraction pulls Earth's water towards it, creating high tides on the side facing the moon. As the moon orbits Earth, two bulges of water form, one on the side facing the moon and one on the opposite side. As Earth rotates, these bulges create the ebb and flow of tides. But what would happen if these tides became exaggerated? Billions of years ago, when the moon was much closer to Earth, the tides were significantly higher than they are today. If the moon continues to draw closer, those tides would become catastrophic. Global ecosystems would be disrupted, and the world's coastlines would be completely redefined. The Roche limit, a turning point. As the moon continues its perilous approach, it reaches a point known as the Roche limit. This is the distance at which Earth's gravitational pull becomes stronger than the moon's. At this point, instead of a collision, the moon begins to break apart under the intense gravitational strain. It fractures into pieces, some small and some large, creating a massive debris field orbiting Earth. This debris forms a ring around our planet, similar to Saturn's famous rings, but far more chaotic and dangerous. The debris that once made up the moon would rain down on Earth, causing frequent meteor showers and mass destruction. The atmosphere would darken due to the debris blocking sunlight, and photosynthesis would be severely hindered. With less oxygen production and fewer resources, Earth's ecosystem collapses. Volcanoes, earthquakes, and the end of space travel. The gravitational pull from the moon's debris ring continues to trigger volcanic eruptions and earthquakes around the world. Even cities that were once safe from the initial flooding now find themselves devastated by constant natural disasters. Meanwhile, space travel becomes impossible. The ring of debris forms a barrier, preventing spacecraft from leaving Earth's atmosphere. Our communications satellites are destroyed, and humanity is cut off from the rest of the universe. Even if we had the technology to escape, the constant bombardment of space rocks makes it impossible to leave the planet. Global cooling and the collapse of human civilization. In the wake of these disasters, global cooling becomes a real threat. The debris around Earth blocks sunlight, causing temperatures to plummet. This could potentially trigger an ice age, plunging Earth into a new era of freezing cold. With agricultural systems destroyed and ecosystems in turmoil, the human population struggles to survive. The question becomes, can humanity endure this apocalyptic event? For those who manage to survive, the long-term future is uncertain. Would Earth eventually recover, or would we be left to rebuild a shattered civilization amidst a dying planet? Survival and the future of humanity. Survival after the moon's destruction wouldn't be a simple matter of hunkering down and waiting for the dust to settle. No, my friend, it's a race against time, resources, and gravity. Humanity would have to scramble to find refuge in underground bunkers, hoping they're not buried under a mountain of space debris. Or maybe, just maybe, we could hitch a ride to the stars and hope our new cosmic neighbors aren't as disastrous as the moon. But with communications cut off and ecosystems collapsing faster than a house of cards in a hurricane, rebuilding society would feel like a game of Tetris with no pieces that fit. The debris rings circling Earth would serve as a constant reminder of our cosmic disaster, haunting us for generations. Could humanity really rise from the ashes of such a catastrophe? Or would we be the last survivors on a battered planet, just waiting for a meteor to knock us out of existence? The future's uncertain, but one thing's for sure, the moon's end would mark the epic finale of Earth as we know it. Well, there you have it. If you enjoyed this cosmic chaos, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe for more mind-bending content, and ring that bell so you never miss an intergalactic disaster. Until next time, keep your feet on the ground and maybe check on the moon.